Vanessa is here, right?
Yes, and hello everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Tickfaw Files. We're gonna find out what's going on with the ogre and if he's like an onion and we can peel him. What? Anyways, before we jump into the story, some things to go over for the viewers. There's a lot of ways that you can actually interact with the show and even affect the story through viewer actions. And there's a number of ways that you can do that. The easiest way to do that is through the tweet for the game, which is right there in chat. Every like, retweet, and reply is an interaction, and every 5 interactions, a D4 goes to the cast and the GM to use on any roll that they like. With this being Monster of the Week, a D4 is actually a pretty big deal. So that's one way you can do it, just by interacting on Twitter. Another way that you can affect the story is through using guild coins, which are Twitch's channel points. If you look at the round rainbow-shaped token, or the rainbow round-shaped token, below the Twitch chat box, you can click on that and see a lot of different things that you can do there. And then finally, you can interact through direct donations, subscriptions, bits, and Patreon subscriptions. And all of that is available. All the different things that you can do for the different amounts is right over here. Yeah. Through coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks. And yeah, you can do all kinds of cool stuff that way. Currently, the cast has 2d6 available, and the GM has 2d6 and a switch. Switches allow Rowan to change one of our action words on something that we want to do, and vice versa. So yeah, that is all the things that you can do there. With that being said, we're going to do some player and character introductions, and we'll jump right into the story. So starting with myself, I am Raven. I'm a tabletop streamer, tabletop game designer, writer, editor, and graphic artist. I do all kinds of different stuff. You can find out all about that on my Twitter at The Raven, right below my face there. And today I'm playing Dr. Tilda Jenkins, who is a sort of dry-humored, sassy doctor of library and museum sciences. So she's working on restoring a bunch of texts that were found in southern Louisiana that are pre-Civil War. And last week, excuse me, she had a run-in with the ogre and is in the hospital. So she's had a bad day. We'll see where it goes from there. And that's me and Tilda. Pass it on to Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley. I am a knit and crochet designer, and I'm on Instagram and stuff as Ariely Knit. I am playing as Jonas. Jonas is kind of a floater. Seems like a stoner, but he's not. He's just Jonas. So, yeah.
And a lightweight.
Yes, and a lightweight, and he is bi as hell and just crushes hardcore on Savoy, so you know.
Perfect. And speaking of Savoy, Yasmin, tell us a little bit about yourself and Savoy.
Hey, I'm Yasmin. I am a graphic artist and illustrator. You can find me on Twitter at YTatianaArt. And that's probably about it as far as like where you can find me. And I play Savoy, who is kind of the unofficial mayor of the town. Tries to keep everything in order, and the more we learn about them, the more and more we realize that Savoy is a little crazy.
That's very fair. All right, and Vanessa, tell us a little bit about Mira and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am the resident Canadian of this group. I'm primarily a watercolor artist and sketchbook doodler, and you can find me at my art Twitter at Pepro Draws, and that's Pepro like the candy. I play Mira, who is a glamour casting baddie of sorts, I guess. She is masquerading, I guess, as a business lady. So she's in and out of town a lot, and she tries to stay to herself and not really have to interact with the population as much as she possibly can avoid it. So getting together now with this mismatched group is going to be fun for her. She's going to have to put those people skills to use.
Fantastic. Quick note, we've already had 5 interactions on the tweet, so that's a D4 to the cast and the GM. And speaking of the GM, our very talented Rowan, tell us a little bit about yourself and take over from here.
Hello. I am Rowan North. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. You can find all my social medias and all of that at my website at rowannorthillustrations.org, which I actually started a new page on my art and projects area for the Tickfaw files, and there I have like just some of the concept art and stuff. Not too much yet, but I plan on doing one major art piece for every chapter, so to speak, of this adventure, and then other like concept art for some of the monsters and characters, I guess. Not at all as big as like say Grim or things like that. It's like see all that.
What was that last thing that you said? You went super robot-y. Just like the last sentence.
Yeah, I noticed my internet froze up. It said not as crazy as I did with my last campaign, but
okay.
There'll be other stuff. So, with that, let's talk about what happened last time. We did a little bit with Tilda.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Tilda had a run-in with the ogre. Got the snot beat out of her. Ended up in the hospital. Naomi is on the trail. Naomi, for those who don't know, is the local agent, kind of sort of pseudo detective for the FBI, looking into this cold murder case because she is new and nobody else wanted it. So she's on the trail. You remind me, Savoy, you said that you wanted to move Tilda to your home. Correct. And continue work there, correct?
Yes.
So when exactly is that going to happen?
As soon as she is released from the hospital.
Okay. And then
I believe Naomi was tasked with getting Tilda a coffee, if I recall.
Yes, she was. And finally, we had some interesting interaction with Lily and your character. Sorry, my brain just blinked on names. Mira. Yes, thank you.
Mira is offended that you've forgotten her. Mira will remember that.
Mira will remember that. Anyways, so Mira was asking about Lily's master and showed interest, and Mira heard a voice and was given a bit of a task, and we'll go through that in a bit. But let's actually begin with Tilda and Naomi. Tilda, how are you doing? I'd say it's been about a good half an hour since Savoy left. Are you trying to rest?
I'm feeling like half an hour is a long time to wait for coffee in a town this small. So I'm a little annoyed that the coffee's not here. I didn't get to finish my first cup before all of this happened.
There's finally a knock at the door, and Naomi steps in. And she's like, I apologize. There were issues on the way. But I do have coffee for you.
That's great. So did you like get fired or something and now you're working for the coffee place?
What? No. Savoy told me to get you coffee.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, that was very nice of Savoy. Well, regardless, thank you. And she'll take the coffee and start drinking it.
It's still warm, luckily. It looks like the issues came at the coffee shop, and luckily not on the way, so it's not like cold. Thank heavens. Good. Naomi says, now are you open to talking about what happened, or you mind if I ask you some questions?
I mean, I guess it's fine. You brought me coffee, that buys you at least 5 minutes.
Great, thanks. What happened exactly?
Well, I was going to the dig site where I'm restoring bugs, and my boat was attacked by a giant alligator. It was not a good time. Clearly, it was aggressive. Sank my boat, and I barely got out, without dying.
Now, how big was this alligator? Do you think it would have been the one that tore through the little girl back in the original murder?
I'm not super familiar with that whole thing. I didn't live here at the time. Are we talking that? So an alligator murdered this little girl?
Well, that was the theory at the time before the father and mother showed up, in pieces hanging from the cypress trees.
I mean, it could be. It was big enough to sink a boat, so it's unusually large, I would say.
Okay. Has anyone called pest control, or not pest control, animal control?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bit more than a pest at this point.
Yes.
I don't know. I was, brought in an ambulance, and then I've been here, so I was kind of preoccupied with the whole not dying thing.
That makes sense, but what if Savoy called, or?
It's possible. I mean, I told her what happened. I've told the doctors what happened. I'm sure somebody's probably called, but if you wanted to follow up on that, I mean, probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right. And there wasn't anything else really unusual about this, just the fact that it was really big, right?
Really big, and it destroyed my boat, and I lost my favorite coffee mug, and I have an FBI agent asking me about an animal case and delivering me coffee. That is unusual, but it's not an unpleasant surprise.
Listen, if there was more to go on, it is what it is, So
I mean, sure, you're having to grasp at straws. It's a cold case. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you remember anything else, I guess you know where to find me.
Sure. If you do catch up with the alligator, don't accuse it of crimes like just willy-nilly, because I don't think it'll be very friendly about it like I was.
I'm fairly certain that the alligator's, one, guilty of attempting murder, so I don't think it would be just accusing it. And two, listen, it was a long day.
That was a joke.
Okay.
I've been told it's hard to tell when I'm joking, so yeah, that was a joke.
Right. Well, thank you.
I appreciate the coffee.
I'm glad. I'll leave you to rest then. I apologize that it took so long. Yeah. she kind of awkwardly starts walking out like she doesn't know how to end the conversation.
Okay, thanks. And as she's like about to go out the door, Tilda just gets this slight smirk on her face. Goes, Agent Pierce. One more thing. I remembered something I was gonna say. That top looks very nice on you. Stick with that style.
Thank you, I guess.
Okay.
And then she just walks out.
Tilda doing this, of course, just to mess with her.
Obviously. But she's just like, what?
And she just goes back to sipping her coffee, pleased with herself having taken some measure of joy in this awful day.
Yes, well, luckily for you, Naomi is easy to tease, so... Or not fortunate for her, unfortunately. That's probably something that you don't want to have as an FBI agent. So let's go to Mira. Well, first off, Savoy. Are you and Jonas going to head back to talk to Mira? Like, what is your plan from here?
They're going to go to the library to pick up Tilda's things.
Okay, let's actually go there. So you head to the library where Tilda's work is. Tilda, at Raven, are you willing to explain kind of the layout again? I know that we talked about it last time.
Oh, yeah. So the library is basically, you've got like the main front door, and you go in, and it's like your standard public library in a small town. So imagine single floor, kind of spread out wide versus, having the multiple floors deal. Probably like nonfiction on one side, fiction on the other. And then sort of behind the main front desk, you've got a bunch of different office rooms where they do both library business, but they also have sort of rented out, I guess, a section for this book restoration project. And then beyond that, there's sort of like a warehouse type room, which also has an external entrance, which is basically Tilda's workshop. It's like her sanctuary. And that's just lined with lots of metal shelves, meticulously cataloged and labeled and organized, and probably several humidor cases. So basically, you put certain items in there that you want to keep a set level of humidity so that it doesn't get too wet or too dry and break down. And the book that she asked Savoy to get is specifically in one of those. There's also like a makeshift sort of hospital in one corner of the room as well.
Okay.
Like for treating snake bites or various other things that might happen with a safari into the swamps.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Now, Raven, you said that this was warded against magic, correct?
Yes,
library?
It's got, let me pull up my player sheet here. Protection spells. Your haven is safe from monsters they cannot enter. Monsters might be able to do something special to evade the wards, but not easily.
Okay, so monsters cannot enter, magic is fine. So boy,
yeah.
As long as your other half isn't out, you're fine.
Noted.
But if your other half tries to step foot in the library, let me know.
I will.
'Cause shit's
I mean,
going
it'll be
down.
obvious. It'll be
Yes.
obvious.
So in Tilda's workroom, where all those you have those books, a pile of books, you have the ones that are in the special boxes to try to treat and things like that. But Tilda, you left the spell book there, correct? Or the weird mysterious book?
Yeah. After not being able to figure out exactly where it's from and sort of dismissing the voice she heard as a joke, she would have probably put it back in the humidor where she found it.
Okay. So is that the work that you specifically requested for? Is the ones in the humidor, or?
Yeah, specifically that book, and just some various tools that she would normally use to, inspect and start the restoration process.
Savoy has a list, a shopping list.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just making sure I've got the details correct here. All right. So you guys go in and you start looking around, grabbing the stuff. And there is this book that definitely doesn't look like it came from the plantation, the flooded plantation home. For one, it's in pristine condition. For another, it's really fancy, and yeah, I don't know, like what do you guys do? Everything else seems fairly normal except for that book.
Savoy kind of like you know that like disgusted sniff expression where like the corner of the nose twitches. Yeah. Like the God. Jonas, wrap this up and make sure that that's packaged with us. It sounded like Tilda needed this book specifically. Why? I don't know.
Okay, sure thing.
Now, I would like you, okay, both of you, to roll plus weird.
Plus weird.
Nothing in specific, but to kind of see if you guys sense anything. Almost like a perception check or whatever. What was it?
11.
11? Okay. Wow, you both succeed. So as you, I guess, approach this book, Jonas, you immediately feel like there's a magic aura about this book. You're just like, whoa. Probably you haven't felt anything that strong since you left the other world back like 20 years ago.
So the magic aura would most certainly trigger Savoy's better half.
You want to try to roll cool?
Yeah, I sure do.
All right.
Yes! Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I have a quick question. Can I say how the wards work to remove monsters that try to come in?
Yes. Well, actually, that was my question, is what do you want this ward to do specifically? I think we discussed about it briefly before, where you said it was like at the door or something. Would Savoy be stuck inside the library?
No, I think what would be really cool to do, if it's possible, is to have the wards set up in such a way that if it detects a monster entering or inside, it teleports them to the diner.
The diner across the street?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
like in the back corner booth where the light doesn't work very well or something like that. So just like the very back corner of the diner, they just find themselves suddenly there sitting at a table.
I love this.
Terrible.
Okay.
Do you understand how terrible this is? What the fuck is all over my face? I have ink all over over my fingers and I don't know where it came from. I haven't been touching anything.
It looks like
Your pen exploded.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like a leaky pen.
I know. I don't have a pen. Anyways.
This is the true mystery.
Regardless,
so, all right,
we'll come back to this.
Describe what happens to Savoy. So Jonas goes over to this book. You catch whiff of it. You catch whiff of the magic. And
as soon as and I kind of imagined it sort of like a wave. As soon as that wave washes over Savoy, the change is instantaneous. Like the feathers ripple up out of their skin. They're suddenly 4 inches taller than they were, all bone and twisted talons, and they only have enough time to look equally shocked before they go flip, and they're gone.
So, oh my gosh, I can imagine.
And there's little feathers that just settle on the floor in their wake.
I just imagine it's like a
yes, relief, but I don't get it, and then I'm gone.
So yeah, Jonas, you're working on grabbing this book or whatever the book's in, I don't know, and all of a sudden Savoy's gone. By the time you turn around, yes,
like a chicken softly imploding.
Savoy? You heal? Question. Would they have dropped the list, or was Savoy still holding the list, or was it just in the room?
I would think that Savoy would have dropped the list, and so the list is sitting on 2 or 3 black feathers.
Okay, so Jonas is going to go over and notice that and pick up the list and see the feathers and kind of be like, are you there? Are you playing with me? Or hello?
It's not funny.
Okay, I guess I'll just meet you at the car. So Jonas just takes the list and grabs everything else, and then we'll leave the library after everything's been gathered.
All right. So you don't really look at the book much more. You just finish your grocery shopping, so to speak.
Yeah.
And Savoy's car is still sitting right there, curbside.
So when Jonas sees that there's the car there and the boy's not there, then he's gonna start just a little bit freaking out. Not a lot. He's still keeping it cool because he doesn't want Savoy to see him freaking out. So he's just gonna be like, "What the? Well, I know that internal Jonas dialogue. So I know that I was. So this book definitely feels magic. Maybe it's not possible." So he opens the book and starts flipping through it to see if Savoy is somehow stuck inside the book.
So a few things that you notice. Let's roll to investigate a mystery, shall we?
Okay.
Which, let me...
That's sharp, right?
Yeah, but I need to pull up the book as well.
Well, I got 7.
All right, 7. That's mixed success. So you get to ask one question. Hold one. I need to pull up the book. Sorry. Forgot to do this earlier, so I'm an idiot. Wow, there's so many character sheets. All right, so act under pressure, help out, investigate a mystery. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What's it going to do? What's being concealed here? Where did it go is probably more about Savoy. What happened here? What happened?
Yeah, what happened here?
Okay. So as you're flipping through the book, all the pages are blank. There's nothing to see there. However, you look over at the library door, and there, on the side of the door, it looks like some sort of symbol is like glowing and steaming a little, and the glow is like slowly fading out. So it wasn't the book. You get that feeling like of magic. But it's not from the book. It's from that symbol on the side.
Oh shit. Shit. Well, and so Jonas, like, it's just completely blank when he looks at the book. There's nothing in it.
There's nothing. The book is completely blank.
Shit. Oh, crap. So, quick pause for a second.
Okay.
So, I know that Mira and Lily were going to go to the library too to look for the book.
Yes, I was about to head to them.
Okay, so I just want to know, like, if they'd be running into me right about now, like, if I have, like, how much time I have to do anything is my question.
Well, let's actually go to Mira. Because I was wondering, like, time frame here. You guys probably got to the library before, and I'm not even sure if Mira wants to go to the library right now either. So yes, Mira. What is up?
Not
My
much.
child.
What about you?
No, I'm here every Wednesday.
Oh, very good.
On the dot.
Mira, she's intrigued by the voice asking her to do a favor for her. I can't remember. Did the voice specifically ask for the book? That it did, right?
I believe so. So let's actually kind of recap about that conversation.
Yeah.
So, Mira, you walked into Lily's room, or Lily's makeshift nest room, whatever you've set up for her. And she was talking to nothing. And you were asking specific questions like, who are you talking to? She brought up her master. And what was it specifically you said? Like that you'd be interested in meeting them or working with them? I don't recall exactly.
I don't remember exactly what she said. I do know that it, like the voice gave her kind of like a tease of what was happening. And she was just like, yeah, okay, I'll play ball. So I don't remember what exactly it was she said, but she was like, okay, I'm game. Let's see where this goes.
Okay, yes. Yeah, he had said specifically like, well, Mira, I'm happy to have you, right? And yes, he says specifically, before anything, I'm looking for my spell book. It was stolen. And the place to find that, I believe, is in the library. Do you ask any further questions of the voice? What?
I think her primary concern would would be what the spell book is for. Like, why is it important to you?
Okay, so does she ask that?
Yes. What basically?
All right,
what am I giving this to you for?
Well, it belongs to me. It's as if, say, an object of value of yours was taken from you. It belongs to you. It's something precious. Obviously, it should be returned, correct? I just don't like it when things of mine are taken. I think you can understand that.
She raises an eyebrow and says, "Of course I can. Who stole it from you?"
Well, if I had the answer, you don't think I would have made them pay already?
So how is it that you know that it's in the library if you don't know who stole it from you?
Because Lily was tracking it down for me.
All right, well, I'll take a look then, and I'll see what I can find.
Wonderful. I look forward to hearing from you again, Mira. And it's as if Lily can sense that whoever is talking is like gone. She just kind of looks at you expectantly.
Mira like crouches down to her level again and looks at her, and she's like, "Small human child, what are we going to do with you? I don't think I can take you with me, but I don't exactly trust you to stay put, now can I?"
I've been staying put since today.
That actually almost garners a little chuckle from Mira. Almost, not quite though. But she does seem slightly amused by that. But she just says, "Well, seeing as you walked out into the open when those two people were here, and almost ruined my glamour, I don't know what to trust. I don't know what to say to you." But it's like her tone is light. Like she's not accusing. It's more of like a game that she's playing. She's like, "You know what? I just don't know what to do. You know what I mean?"
The goblins can watch me for a little while. We're friends.
Mira like narrows her eyes a little bit. She's not happy with that goblin who like jumped on her.
Of course.
But she gives a little nod and she says, "You feel safe staying with the goblins for now?"
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, what we'll do is you spend some time with the goblins, and I am going to go to the library and check everything out, but you have to promise to stay put and not let anybody see you, okay?
Okay. And I can just
like
be with the goblins like in the woods around here.
Yes. But just don't come back into town until I come to find you, okay?
Well, they don't like town anyways. Too many people.
And Mira gives her like a little tussle of the hair.
So I guess Lily accompanies you out of the house.
Yes.
And then she just kind of's like, "Okay, bye," and runs off into the woods.
Mira watches her go to make sure she disappears safely.
She disappears safely. That's a new one.
Yep. Not safely for Lily, safely for everybody else.
Yep, it seems fine.
Okay.
Excuse me.
In that case, from then on, she does start to make her way to the library.
All right, so I would say probably about the time that you're starting to panic, Jonas. Like, you've gathered up all the books, which probably was a process enough that there's enough time in between here. So you've gathered up the books, you're starting to panic, and that's about the time that Mira shows up. So, Mira, You're seeing
Mhm.
Jonas in a panic. Jonas, you see Mira walking up.
There's a process in Mira's eyes where she's trying to decide if she can pretend like she never saw Jonas and just turn around and leave.
So, quick question. Is Mira trying to go into the Tilda's room?
Mira
No,
has
she's
just
just
reached
trying
the
to.
library, like the
Yeah.
outside
Oh,
of the
okay.
library.
So she's just gonna make her way into the general library.
You have never gone into the library before. So you're pretending you're doing this whole like horse blinders type thing where you're like, I don't see you.
Yeah, she's like, yep, cool. This is the library. Go on
The
this way.
moment you step into the doors of the library, and Jonas, you're probably watching this. Mira's gone.
Great.
Mira, you find yourself pretty much on Savoy's other half's lap in the diner across the street.
As soon as Mira registers her surroundings, she's like, son of a bitch.
And all you hear is just like the wild, terrible, loud cackling of Zahil. Like, I didn't expect to see you here. There's like their claws are like embedded into the table, like and they have like this wild look, like they're ready to turn all the furniture upside down, and they're like, wow, what a delightful afternoon.
Oh my god. Mira like glances around the diner to see if there's anybody there. That's her first instinct.
So, what I'm imagining is that this is such the back, like this diner has like two sections to it. There's that front kind of like Waffle House-esque area, and then there's kind of like a private room area where, in case it gets too full, sorry, I'm sucking on a cough drop. They put more people back there with like separate booths and things like that, and it's fairly dark back there. Like back there, it's I mean, it's about between lunch and dinner ish.
I would like
So
to that Zahil is loud.
yeah.
Of course the heel is loud. Why would we expect anything else?
So I mean, there's general sounds from the front, and then there's a heel.
So from Zahil's lap is like, how much room are we looking at here? Like, is she crammed in there with Zahil, or like, is there enough space for this?
She kind of. I mean, okay, so it's a double, like it's one of those double booths, right? So
Okay,
you
yeah.
have a table, you have the padded seat here, and then the padded seat there, and padded
Yeah.
seats can probably fit 2 people.
Right.
You are still on Zahil's lap because it appears in the exact same place.
Right. So
If you'd like,
rather
you can
than-
investigate a mystery to figure out how you ended up there.
Yes.
But
Mira, instead of just getting off their lap, she like twists her body to the side so that she can cross her legs. So she's just like sitting in their lap with her legs crossed now, and she's just like, would you like to tell me what the hell is going on?
And Zahil just like sniffs her, like, oh, you smell like home. To answer your question, I could not tell you. I couldn't. I haven't the slightest. It was like a repellent. It was just, there was nothing.
Mira doesn't seem put off at all by this like weird cackling. Like, rather, when she sniffed at, she like, as a response, just kind of knee-jerk reaction, she like bites her teeth together as if she's like making a little biting motion. It's kind of like in disgust. And she sits there and she thinks about it, and the only thing she can figure is there must be something about going into the library, perhaps. And she just kind of mutters to herself, and it's not in English, but she just sits there muttering and still doesn't make any move to get off their lap.
Let's go back to Jonas real fast.
Okay.
Jonas, you just saw Mira disappear in a flash, and that symbol on the side door, like the side of the sliding library doors or whatever, it lights up again, like almost like a burning embers, like it flares up again.
Jonas just stares at the door, and his eyes dart door, side of the door, door, side of the door, door, side of the door. Oh, hey. Maybe even if they're in an alternate dimension, maybe they have cell service, because they couldn't have gone that far. So Jonas pulls out his iPhone 50, which the 50 is an L, and he calls Savoy, whose number he does have because Savoy had texted him.
So in the diner, somewhere on Savoy's person, amidst the feathers and rumpled leftover tatters of clothing, is you hear buzz, 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 buzz.
Mira, your butt's buzzing.
And Savoy's, or not Savoy, Zahil's like, something is moving on my person.
Mira feels this buzzing under her butt, and without any ounce of hesitation, like reaches under her butt and tries to like shove her hands in Zahil's pockets to try and find where it's coming from.
So Zahil, now Mira's feeling you up.
Don't get too excited, bud.
So Mira would pull out the cell phone and probably a clump of feathers, and like all the feathers on Zahil's body raise up like dog's fur raising up, or a bird like pluming itself, and he's just like this day just gets better.
Mira's just like, oh hush. And she looks at the display on the phone to see who it is.
And
At that moment, the door, like to that back dining area, like the people in the front, someone comes through, like, hello, is anyone back here?
Mira immediately like leans back in the chair to try and like smother Zahil into the back of the booth, just like cover them completely. She makes like this low hissing sound, like as a warning to stop making noise.
Let's have
just like
you, Mira. Please roll act under pressure.
Oh, great.
That's plus cool.
What? Cool? Okay. So my cool is 0, so we're just going by the luck of the cards here. 10.
By the pants of your seat. Oh.
Yes.
10's perfect. Okay. So you do it. Like Zahil is here, like you're like pressed up against Zahil in this corner. The person kind of looks around and is like, what am I even doing? I'm not paid enough for this, and just goes back to the front. And Zahil, you're pretty excited from the sounds of it.
yes, but Zahil's like muffled muttering has like just moved down to like a real chesty giggle, like the
Once Mira deduces that it's safe to get up, she finally gets up and just turns around and looks at Zahil with this total look of just She's so done.
Zahil returns the look by looking her up and down and up and down and just keeps giggling.
Mira looks again at the cell phone display. Like she's got no time for Zahil.
Jonas, you've been left. Yeah, Jonas, you've been left to ring for a while. You're just holding a knife in your mouth. What? And so this is the kind of role play this has become, huh? We're really going there.
Trying to eat my dinner.
With a big fat steak knife, huh? Who needs forks? I mean, it's a big fat steak. You're right.
Go on.
All right. So it's been ringing for a little while. What do you do? Like, do you answer?
Oh.
Oh.
Mira answers the phone.
Okay.
Hello? Savoy?
And it's just Mira, and she's like, hello?
Hey, who's this?
Mira just doesn't answer.
Okay, that's cool. I was just wondering, are you still in on Earth, or like
Mira like snaps back and she's like, no, we're on the moon.
really? A spell can take someone that far?
Mira tosses the phone to Zahil.
Zahil catches it, and like their fingers are way too long. They're like,
So it's kind of like this number.
and they just
Like,
like
what
they
is
catch it in their palms. They hold it up to their ear, and they're like, "Hello."
Oh, is this Savoy?
You sound familiar.
Oh, it's the fun one. Hey, how's it going?
I don't understand where are we? There's mortals here, so we must be. Are we on the moon? Are there mortals on the moon here?
Mira just like puts her fingers on the bridge of her nose and just squeezes.
Hey, so I was just wondering, just for like a second, could I just talk to Savoy for like 2 seconds?
No! No! Savoy is gone. I mean, not permanently. I can still hear their voice in the back of my head clawing to get out!
So that voice, is it saying you're on the moon, or is it saying you're somewhere closer that I can actually get to?
Is what it sounds
At this
like.
point, Mira goes to the door and peeks out to see if it's safe to leave this fucking place.
Yeah, I mean, so a bit of the setup for the diner. You have the front area, you have the back area. There is the front door. There are patrons there, so there are people. However, there is the back exit.
Okay, she turns around and goes towards the back exit instead.
From the back exit and the windows and things, you're able to see that it is that you're literally right across the street from the library.
Can she see
like
Jonas?
Yeah, can she see Jonas?
Yeah.
She's torn between like this most exasperated just what the fuck is going on and actually wanting to really just mess with Jonas.
Oh no.
So she actually goes back to Zahil and she's like, tell him we're actually on the moon. And then she looks out the window again.
The pretty redhead says that we are actually on the moon.
Oh, so you guys ended up in the same place. Okay, so How did you get there?
I don't know. How did you get where you are?
I didn't go anywhere.
Well, you're not here, so clearly you went somewhere.
Mira's just like looking out the window, trying to see if Jonas has a meltdown from across the street. She's like, yes.
Okay, you know what? I don't. No. No, you guys are playing with me. You would not get this good of reception on the moon. Okay, where are you?
Mira like hisses from the window. She's like, tell him it's really cold on the moon.
It's just like Zahil is just like cracking up. It's very cold here. Very cold on the moon.
I have something shiny. I have something really, really shiny.
Ooh, what do you have?
It's a very shiny paper clip. Have you heard of those?
I don't. A paper clip. Is it a clip for paper?
Yes, but it's shiny. And I have a whole full of them right here.
I don't know where here is though.
It's
Where?
at the library. So come towards the library.
Where's
And
the
I will-
library?
Ask the pretty redhead.
Pretty redhead.
Mira
Where's the
doesn't respond
library?
at first. She's just too busy looking out the window. But then when she realizes that she's being spoken to, she just shrugs one shoulder. She doesn't answer. She's like, just tell him that reception on the moon is really bad.
So Zahil has managed to like climb up onto the table and is perched over this phone holding it. He's like, we're on the moon. There are no libraries on the moon. I think you went somewhere because you're most certainly not here with your bowl of shiny paper clips. Bring me the paper clips. Come to me. If you come to me, I will do things with you that Savoy won't.
Mira's like, what the
I can't
fuck
get
is
to you."
happening?
Listen. I am a modern 40s man. As great as that sounds, first of all, I have no idea where the hell you are because you keep saying you're on the moon. And second of all, I feel like I would need permission from both you and Savoy to do anything with you. So it's a little...
We love
iffy
Jonas
there.
being about consent.
Zahil just keeps laughing, like the loud, terrible, screechy laughter. And they're like, but they get to the point, they're like, pretty redhead, I am bored.
Mira looks bored now too, so she just she points to the window, and the sparkle in her eyes starts to fade back to her normal, uninterested look, and she just says, I can see him across the street. We're literally across the street from the library.
Pretty human boy, we are across the street.
Oh, I love this character. Okay, so Jonas looks across the street, and then would Jonas be able to see Mira in the window?
Yes. I mean, you can see someone in the window. Yeah.
Her red hair as a beacon.
Her red hair's a beacon.
The door is by the window, right?
Yeah. I mean, both doors, the back door and the front door. The front's on this side, the back door's on this side.
So when Zahil sees that Jonas is out there and that there is a door, Zahil goes outside. And like, the moment they're in the sunshine, they lift their arms, and it's like you know how wyverns have wings that come out they lift their arms and almost like a cloak of feathers extends out into like long wings that stretch out to the sky, and they're like, I need to get out more often.
Oh, shit. Okay. Jonas, like, runs out there with this bowl of paper clips that he's taken off the front desk and, like, everything else, and he's, like, drops everything else off at the car and then brings the bowl of paper clips and is like,
ooh, paper clips.
Paper clips.
And he just shakes the bowl and it makes a bunch of noise.
So, hey, do you want to, let's go get in that shiny car that I know Savoy would hate to see you drive, and let's...
You are
No.
right!
And let's also get the pretty redhead.
Pretty redhead, let us joyride.
Mira comes out that door and she's just like, no.
You are a party pooper. Fine.
I'm not getting into the car with you. You can't even hold on to a cell phone correctly.
I'll drive.
But I want to drive. I don't want to get in the car if you're driving.
Okay, you
Mira
can sit
starts
in my
walking
lap,
back to the
and
library.
I will...
Like she doesn't want this shit. She's going back.
No, pretty lady.
Please let her get to the door and try to go in again and just end up back at the diner.
Yes, if you want to do that.
She does. She tries to go in again.
It just ends up back there while Jonas and Zahil are still arguing. And you just walk out that door again like, fuck.
There's just a muffled string of non-English curse words, just these guttural sounds, and she's not happy.
Just fuck.
So Zahil's like argument just kind of like sputters and turns to circles. Like you can see their figures sag and like the feathers start molting off of them. And then like their hand pops up and just slaps the fuck out of themselves and they shake off the rest of the feathers and it is a very disheveled Savoy. God damn it. Let's go. Did you get all the things? Let's go.
I got all the things, but one little thing, the pretty redhead, I mean, Mira, she keeps disappearing and popping up in the diner.
How many times has Mira done this?
No, it's only once, Jonas. My God.
Well, it's twice actually, so.
And Mira just comes out of the diner and just like hands on her hips, like she's not happy.
Let's go. I'm done with this. I need to go home.
Okay, we'll go home. Let me just go talk to Mira really quick.
Zahil goes and sits in their car and lights a cigarette.
So, Mira, sorry about earlier. Do you need something from the library that I could get for you, like a book or something?
It's Mira's turn to look Jonas up and down, but in a very different way than the way Zahil did to her. More so like she's trying to decide if she can task this little human with an actual task. And she just kind of moves closer to him and she, in a very nonchalant tone, just says, have you ever seen a book in the library that's been different from the rest of them? Strange in any way?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mira leans in just slightly closer and she's like, do you know where the book is?
So, in strange in any way, what do you mean by that? Because every book is different from each other.
I mean,
This
a book that's...
backtrack, Jonas.
Mira's just like, I mean a book that's different from any of the rest. I don't mean in shape or size or number of pages. I mean something that feels different.
Yes, I do actually, but I can't. It's not yours. And that's not on loan. Tilda Doc specifically wanted it, so I have to bring it to her. But you can tag along and you can see it when I give it to Doc.
Mira kind of plays with that idea for a moment, and then, against her better judgment, agrees that she's going to come along.
Whoa, perfect. Yeah, I'll go clear some space for you in the back seat or the passenger seat. You can sit in the passenger seat. I'll sit in the back seat. So yeah, I'll clear some space for myself in the back seat.
She looks down her nose at him and she's like, the back seat will be fine.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, guess what? The gang's all getting together finally after 3 fucking episodes.
I'm trying, guys.
We're coming for you, Tilda.
So, all right. We will get Tilda out of the hospital and into Savoy's bed. I mean, bed.
I think you're gonna have to fight Jonas for that spot.
Oh God.
Yeah,
But we'll
tune in for the penultimate episode where we have a giant orgy, apparently.
Oh God, that's the direction we're going. That's it.
I don't know, man. I think Mira might need some. Mira might need some convincing on that end. I don't know how that's gonna go.
And she's a fairy,
surprisingly,
so
actually would need convincing as well.
It appears that most of our party is not orgy inclined.
I feel like any advances on Tilda would be like, I'm not really going out of my way to look for this, but if somebody, hits on me, I'd be okay with that. I feel like that's sort of Tilda's attitude.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you could take it that Tilda's been hitting on Naomi, so I mean. Anyways.
How did we get so off track?
Yes. Let's take a quick break, and then we will do a time skip where all of you guys can be together, where you can discuss the things that you have learned.
Oh my God.
All right.
Yes. So, quick 5-minute break.
Yeah, everybody take time to grab a bio, hydrate, stretch your legs, whatever you need to do, and we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Doo-doo.
And we're back.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we had to have a
I'll
conversation
get going.
about pronunciations of words while we were on break.
Just for the audience's
Raven-
sake, I'm being abused verbally for being Canadian. Just thought you should know.
Raven's the one who started it.
Hey, Vanessa. I just have to say genuinely, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry, are you? Are you sorry?
Yes.
Okay, Raven. Apology accepted. Just because you're sorry.
Oh
my goodness.
Yep. Honestly, there's not a session now where Raven doesn't bring it up. Anyways.
So, we got the band together. What are we doing?
Well, let's talk about that. So, I mean, you're not released until the next morning, and only because the Void has suggested that you are moved over to her care, pretty much. So once they're confident, like, yeah, you're not gonna freaking die, you're stabilized, you're fine as long as, you know, you're provided for, they suggest you don't get out of bed early for the next few days. But regardless, you guys are waiting a while. Mira, are you worried about Lily at all, or?
She thinks about Lily sporadically, but she's praying to whatever gods that the goblins are keeping her away from people. So she's pretty cool with it. She knows that the goblins don't like people, so.
Yeah, that's I mean, you have more things to be concerned about than people, but all right. Regardless, in the morning, Tilda arrives. Tilda, how are you feeling? A lot better.
Ow. Everything hurts.
They're giving you enough oxycodone so that you're not, you know, constantly in pain. Or something along those lines.
That works. Yeah, but very sore and yeah, just ow.
That's so, and you have an audience waiting for you when you come to the Savoy's family manor. You have everyone, including Mira, which I guess you really haven't had any interaction with Mira before, have you?
I don't think so.
No. So
Probably
there's this
not.
woman that you don't really recognize, just there waiting for you
Is this
in the
like
room that you've been assigned.
a get better party or something? Tilda says, looking to Savoy.
Savoy kind of looks at them and looks at Tilda. This is going to be our team in trying to figure out the nonsense that is going on here.
But here's some get better flowers.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Jonas. That's very nice of you.
We have your room prepared. All of your belongings and books are in there and have not been touched since they've been brought.
Okay, good. Did you get that one particular book out of
Yes.
the Perfect. I think we need to figure that out, because I heard a voice talking to me about the book. I thought somebody was playing a prank until I saw, you know, Shrek Hulk out in the swamp, and it tried to kill me.
Mira tries really hard to pretend like she's not listening, when in fact she is very much listening.
Savoy says before we start really getting into this, let's get you situated. I'm sure that you're not feeling very well, and laying down would be far more comfortable than standing up.
Yes, standing
And
is
Savoy,
out.
raises an arm, and 4 attendants just trot out of the house and show up to help
I love
you
how they're
get to the bedroom. Like little fucking Oompa Loompas.
Oh my god.
Hey, Savoy, one of these days you're gonna have to tell me like where you get this kind of thing, because this is great.
It comes with lots and lots of money.
All right, I need to get that. These drugs are great, by the way.
I can only imagine you will be supplied with as much as you need and not in excess while you're staying here.
Just like a big bottle would be great.
We'll see to it. And Savoy then ushers everybody inside and up the stairs, and Tilda has a room that overlooks the plantation gardens. It's full of light, it's very pretty, very soft, and everything Tilda could imagine needing is in that room. And it is all very expensive.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna I'll just stay sick and stay here. This is great.
Savoy doesn't say anything.
I want to roll something to see what Tilda does.
Sure.
Given that she's currently
Go
drugged.
for it.
Oh, right. Just the little modifier thing. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, Tilda clearly inebriated with these painkillers does, as she, like, flops down into the bed, does look over to Savoy and go, you know, you're a very attractive person, and the whole money thing really does not hurt.
Savoy just like stifles eye rolling and says, "That's nice, dear." Pat, pat.
That's nice. That's nice.
And Tilda's just got her
Just, like,
finger out,
pats her.
and after the head pat, she goes, my finger is like bends. They all bend.
You know what?
This is amazing.
All
Do your
right.
fingers bend?
Savoy just walks away and calls the servants to bring in chairs for everybody so that we can sit around and discuss the goings
And
on.
tell us some goddamn coffee or
I
something.
think the drugs are working now.
That's good.
I feel like there should be a reward for like a certain number of times people hit on Savoy. Can the GM
That's
please
how she
award
became
us
witch.
an advantage every time we hit a certain threshold?
I'll tell you what. If you keep track of it,
Sweet
track
Jesus.
of it, and give me a count next session, we'll talk.
Okay, is it starting now, or are we including the rest from this session?
Starting now.
Okay, I've got a pen. I'm ready.
The Tickfaw Files
Do this.
drinking game, yes. Oh my gosh. A Savoy hit counter. Okay.
We're not killing
So-
Savoy.
Oh god. So I don't know, Tilda, you're given some coffee or something to help.
in her
You're still
coffee
drugged.
cup, in the coffee cup that we picked up from the library. Not the one that was
And-
lost, but the one that was at the library.
Oh, her backup one. Fantastic.
Amazing. Amazing. So yeah, now there's the four of you. Tilda, you're still drugged, but at least you have coffee. And it's time to chat. Tilda, are you actually typing out a counter?
Let me just drag this down over here.
Oh my god.
Below.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, I'm
So it's
also
okay,
keeping
Vinny.
a
It's okay.
Oh my god.
So Savoy clears their voice and is like, we're all aware of what's going on. Correct? That forces of a unnatural cause are at work here in Tickfaw.
Mhm.
And thanks.
A margarita. Thanks.
I'm done with this. I stepped in your meat.
I'm sorry, guys. Hold on.
It's okay. It's okay.
You know, I was only joking about the drinking game thing.
I didn't plan that at all. That just happened. Oh my god. Okay.
I feel like the only person who should drink every time Savoy gets hit on is Yasmin.
Well, considering
I've been plastered.
Yeah, that's the point, because then it's so much funnier.
Okay. All right. I don't mind these terms. Oh,
take a shot every time someone takes a shot, says Grand Sigma.
Oh my goodness.
okay. So we
Rim
all
shot every
understand.
time. No, hold on.
Okay.
Rim shot every single time you take a shot when someone takes a shot. But
That's I'm sorry in advance. That's a lot of banging going on.
Oh my god. Someone get me out of here.
So
All right, for
Rowan.
let me get us back on track here. Mira Mira looks like she's not amused at the word unnatural.
Savoy just gives her a look. Magical. Of a magical nature.
Mira rolls her eyes but doesn't say anything.
Savoy bites their tongue. That's all. Takes a big deep
Right.
breath. And we know that there is a very large creature. I don't know what the appropriate term. Ogre. Okay, the appropriate term is ogre.
So
Savoy trying not to be racist.
I didn't know this stuff was real until just now. But I do know. Wow, my finger bends a lot. I do know a lot about it, even though I didn't think it was real. And I can say with 100% certainty that was an ogre.
Good. All right.
It does not have layers, though. It was very solid.
As a group, we've encountered this ogre twice. Jonas and I, and Tilda. Is that correct? Has any of you encountered the ogre at all?
Mira doesn't say anything because that would just imply that she actually had Lily. And she managed to pull off that glamour, so she's not gonna say jack shit.
Yes.
We know that one of the missing persons is still from the Tickfaw murder, is potentially still running around in the woods. And that was the little girl that we were looking for this morning. Yesterday morning.
Was that the little street urchin that came to the library?
I would assume so.
Yeah, she was like wearing a dress shirt or something. Very creepy.
Mira just inspects her nails.
Where did she get an adult's dress shirt? That's weird.
That actually is weird because I'm not sure. No. It would make sense. I'm sure there's a reason for it.
Obviously, there's a reason.
We need to find a way to get rid of the ogre. The ogre poses a very, very physical threat to our town, and these people I am responsible for.
Stabbing it in the hand just makes it mad. Just FYI. That's how this whole thing happened.
No shit! If I got stabbed in the hand, I'd be upset too.
Mira
God
squints her eyes just really hard, like she's just squinting. Like that's the dumbest shit she has ever heard.
Tilda just sips her coffee. She's like, these pills are great.
Savoy just kind of like, you can kind of just see like the go out of them, whatever it is, and they pull their phone out and they call their kitchen. He's like, can you please bring orange juice to our bedroom, to the bedroom upstairs? We could use with some refreshment and perhaps some hors d'oeuvres while we are having our meeting. Thank you. Gets off the phone.
Oh, tell them to bring those little they're like little, and they're fish but not fish.
Hilda, what do you know about ogres?
Oh, ogres.
Hilda pulls out like a bag of snacks and hands those like candies over to Tilda while she's talking.
Oh, no. These are like savory. They're like wrapped in bacon and scallops. That's what they're called. They're scallops. I'll take the candy though. Thank you. Ogres, right? They're not onions. They're large.
I love how in 2040 there's still references to Shrek.
Shrek never dies.
Shrek is eternal.
We still have quotes from the 1980s movies that are living long and strong, so
yeah.
It's true.
So yeah, we're still referencing Shrek in 2040, ladies and gentlemen. People are still cosplaying Naruto characters in 2040 as well.
Yes.
What?
So what do I need to roll anything, or do I just know about ogres? Because Raven doesn't know a lot about the whole mythology around ogres, other than they're usually large and not smart and aggressive in most stories.
Okay. Honestly, every single one of you can make this roll. Make rolls of recall and things like that, because all of you have had experiences with either fantasy, supernatural, or otherwise. So let me see what roll that would actually be.
Oh, since Savoy asked me specifically, can I use often right? When a hunter comes to you for advice about a problem, give them your honest opinion and advice. If they take your advice, they get +1 ongoing while following it, and I get an experience.
Yes, actually, I would say that that's fair. I would say that this would actually be an investigate a mystery, and this is what I'm going to say. One of you takes the lead in, I guess, investigating, like trying to remember things. The rest of you can help out. The rest of you can help out. Okay.
Okay. Is that that's sharp, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
For help out, you roll plus cool.
All right, cool.
Plus
I have a
cool?
2.
Yeah,
And
for help
sharp.
I
out.
just got a 6.
Well, you're really terrible at helping out.
I
Way
got
to
a
go.
9.
Wow.
Woot! 10.
All right, 9's way better than 6.
Thanks.
10. Okay. I love you, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you got a 10 just straight up, right, Raven?
Yeah. Yep, 10 was my total.
Okay, hold 2. So
Hold 2.
yeah, that means you get to ask 2 questions. So investigate in any number of ways: following tracks, interviewing witnesses, forensic analysis, looking up old folklore in a library, typing the monster's name in Google, capturing the monster and conducting tests on it, and so forth. So in this case, your mind is the library, I guess.
Okay.
So
I mean, I do have my occult library like on my laptop from the college that I could technically look up.
So yeah, do you pull out your laptop?
Yeah. Can I also use lore library when you hit the books? Take +1 forward to investigate a mystery, so long as historical or reference works are appropriate.
Why not? I mean,
Okay.
you already succeeded. Come on.
I guess that's true. That doesn't really matter, but
But does that give you
Yay.
another question?
yay for using stuff.
Does that give you a hold 3?
It just says +1 forward. So I believe that means on my next roll I get +1.
Yes.
Okay, I need to make a note of this.
Or +1 forward, you could use it in this role as well, but you already succeeded. So
See, I'll just hold on
Either
to
way.
it. Does it have to apply to
so-
sharp or investigate, or is it just my very next roll period? I can't remember.
next roll period, I'd say,
Okay.
or anyone's roles. It could be anyone that you give that forward to.
Okay.
All right. So the questions are: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
+1 forward as a roll. Okay, cool. What can hurt it?
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the last one?
What can hurt it? What is being concealed here?
Yeah, what can hurt it and what is being concealed here?
Does everyone agree on those questions?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, interesting. All right. So here's the information I'll give you.
Okay.
I mean, in general, ogres, in your Google search of ogres, I mean, it doesn't quite match specifically what you saw, but there are different kinds of ogres. There's different ogres in mythology. You have like your ogres in European myth. You have your ogres in Japanese myth. The ogres in Japanese are way more demonic, or
I'm
can
gonna
be gods
focus.
or whatever.
I'm gonna focus on European.
So a lot of the European mythos on ogres also kind of ties into giants and things like that, and trolls. You feel like it matches a bit more of a description of the troll. For instance, the troll sitting under the bridge, the
Mhm.
troll that turns into Stone in the Sunlight in Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. You feel like that fits more the description. You just kind of nicknamed it the ogre for
Okay.
this. It doesn't matter. You note a few things. What can hurt it? It's big, it's strong, and it can hide it in the trees. Like in your discussion, like you know that it sticks to the trees, and it threw a tree on you, Tilda, right?
Yes. Very, very vivid memory of that.
So being around the trees is probably not a great idea.
So, what can hurt it though?
Well, um, well, here, I'm not giving you a straight out answer because
Also, thank you to Michael Wayne for the $2 donation that gave us a D6 to the cast.
Awesome, thank you very much. You know that it's slow and that it mostly moves its arms. It's lumbering. It can probably be tripped up easy. You know that there's talk about it being in direct sunlight in like the Hobbit, of it that hurting it or turning them into stone.
So I can discount that because it was during the day when it attacked me.
But it was in the
Yes.
shade.
Tilda will bring up the argument.
Sunlight.
It's true.
Now,
We'll bring up the argument that it was in sunlight, albeit not direct.
Yeah.
Mira, I believe Lily said to you directly that it was nice and then it got spooked.
Mm-hmm.
But that would require you talking about Lily.
Or disguising it in a manner.
Yes.
Mira, still inspecting her nails, as this is now somehow the tell that she is concealing Lily. Merely makes a suggestion. So instead of outright saying, oh, I was told that it was nice, but it got spooked, she more so suggests and says, well, did you ever think that maybe it was calm before it ran into a bunch of humans?
No.
Well,
Mira's just like, fantastic.
I mean, if that's the case, how would we keep humans away from it?
I mean, it attacked me pretty much straight on. I mean, I didn't even see it or notice it until it was attacking me. But, yeah, it likes trees a lot, and direct sunlight might hurt it, but, it was daylight when it attacked me, so I'm not sure how helpful that is.
So what I'm hearing is that we need to lure it out into an area that doesn't have trees, set a trap that will immobilize it, and then either keep it immobilized or find a way to kill it.
Mira, you do have one more piece of information.
We
and
could
that's
just
about
take
the
a bunch of
goblins.
we could just take a bunch of UV lamps out there.
That is in the event that sunlight actually does hurt it.
Mira might have information, but Vanessa does not. What is the information?
About the goblins. Like, that there were goblins around where the troll has been.
Right.
And so the goblins probably know some things. Between that and Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Tilda just says, yeah, that's all I could find was that sunlight might hurt it, and it likes to be in the trees.
Well, also that it's slow and lumbering and can be tied up easy.
Yeah. Oh, and that it's slow and big, but I mean, we kind of imagine we all are aware of that at this point.
Out.
Yeah.
So
Mira lets them talk it out. She doesn't say anything yet.
Tilda, there is one more piece of information, I guess, that you found, and that's that trolls, or at least in some mythology, trolls rarely work alone. Usually there's other trolls or something else.
Okay.
That's
so
other information I'll give you.
Tilda will explain that too and go, one thing that is kind of weird is that I only saw the one troll, and from everything that I've researched, they usually work with something else or with other trolls or ogres or whatever they are.
So
I
there's
mean,
the potential that there is a second troll
yeah,
or ogre out here in these woods.
Or it's working with something else that's like, in that whole family of Underdark creatures.
There's just a look of disgust on Savoy's face. So we need to find an area that is clear, away from humans, but still close enough to the woods that we can lure the ogre troll into.
Yeah, like that one cartoon that they used to watch all the time and the reruns at the university. His name was Lur, and he kind of looked like a troll.
Okay.
My finger's all bendy again.
So, I mean, well, what Mira was saying, does anybody, like, is there a way we could try to, like, I don't know, communicate? Does anybody here speak troll? And Jonas looks directly at Savoy.
Savoy, like, for a minute is like, no. And then Savoy just, like, you could just see their expression stop. And they're like, no, we are under no circumstances consulting Zahil. No. Zahil is far
Tilda
too
has no idea anything about Zahil.
Mira looks amused from her end.
Wait, why are you talking to a heel? How high am I right now?
You're really, really fucking high. You know what? Let's go get you another oxycodone. I'll go and see if we can find something for you.
I should probably not have more.
So, like, hear me out. We might be able to learn something. Is there any way you could talk to the hill without them taking over?
Mira, it's at this point that Mira lets out like just this big dramatic exasperated sigh. And she says, okay, before we go consulting them, she just like looks so exasperated. She's like, maybe I do have something that we can try.
Zahil, or not Zahil, Savoy is like, I'm all ears.
She kind of moves forward a little bit so that she's facing the group instead of just examining her nails. And she kind of looks between everybody and she says, I have it on good authority that there are perhaps some goblins nearby that we might be able to squeeze for some information.
Okay. What do we know about goblins?
They're little bastards.
Jonas's eyes just light up, and he is so excited. Mira has just given him a gift.
She shoots him a look like, simmer the fuck down, boy.
I have a question. Who are you? And she's pointing at Mira.
Did she say who or what?
She said who.
Mira gives
Oh my gosh.
a little bit of a smile, and it's one of those like doesn't reach her eyes kind of smile, just emotion. And she says, my name is Mirabelle. You can call me Mira.
That's a really weird name, Mirabelle. You can call me Mira, but I'm just gonna call you Mira.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Mira
oh my
like
god.
massages the sides of her temples. Like she's ready to just go.
Okay. How do you know they're goblins?
Tilda,
Uh-huh.
Tilda, I need you to work with us just a little bit.
I'm happy to work with you, pretty person.
Oh God. Oh God.
Tilda, a lot of us are here because we have a solution to fill, and we will take whatever information that we can, and we will try not to harass everybody with personal questions.
Okay. Is that personal? I'm sorry. I'm really high on painkillers right now, and
It's okay. It's okay. That's just.
Yeah.
We'll take that information on good faith, and we'll just roll with it. What do we know about goblins?
Okay, boss. Right, goblins. Is that me or Mira?
Yes, good questions. Mira, Jonas, you know about goblins. You have met goblins in the past. So you know goblins fairly well. Mira, you would know goblins in general. Tilda, you've definitely done research on goblins. So any three of you would do this. Could make another investigation roll.
As a side note, that drinks are brought in for everybody, and it just looks like orange juice and flutes again.
Oh shit.
So Jonas got a 9.
All right.
I would like to give my +1 forward.
Okay, so it's a 10. It's a success. The rest of you roll cool if you want to help out.
8.
8. Okay.
7.
Say that gives 1 forward. That would also give 1 forward. All right, it's a success. 7. I would say that you've succeeded for sure. Jonas.
Mm-hmm.
The things you remember about goblins. You remember that you didn't run into as many goblins as others in your party did. But you remember that they had their own kingdom, that they all look like kids that were like 8. They have long hair, they have sensitive eyes, so they don't like the light. Long hair covers their eyes. They have sharp teeth and claws. In general, they're kind of crazy, happy people. You remember that they had a king and that it was kind of hard to tell apart the king versus a girl goblin. That they liked collecting weird things like old Barbie dolls and toy cars and things like that. So yeah, that's information you know about goblins pretty much. I guess I should have asked, like, what do you want to know from the questions list?
All of that. I want to know all of that.
All of that. Okay. What sort of creature is it? There you go. What can it? What? Well, there you go. That's that one. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
Yeah. So what sort of creature is it? So Jonas, very confidently and just very confidently relays this information in a way that would probably take most of the people there off guard, because he's very serious and kind of taking initiative and actually knows something and is
Well, this is also going to be a little weird for you, Tilda, because wait, hold on, that doesn't quite sound fully like the goblins from folklore. There's some interesting intimate details about goblins that isn't necessarily in the folklore given, right? This isn't just a D&D goblin. So you're just wait, hold on, where did you...
So, Jonas, first of all, this whole super confident vibe you got going on really works for you. Stick with that.
Thanks, Doc.
It's working for you. However, pretty sure that's not entirely all true, because it doesn't match up with my research. What's your source? What's your give me your bibliography on this.
Oh, I met goblins, kind of hung out with them for a little bit.
Mira, you can confirm that's what goblins are like.
You hung out with goblins, right? Savoy, I'm really high. Did Jonas just say that he hung out with goblins, or am I hallucinating?
No, you heard that right. And Savoy kind of gives Jonas a look of like one eyebrow raised kind of look, and then lets it go for now.
Mira pipes up and she says, listen, I can confirm that everything Jonas said is true, but I can also confirm that they're little bastards.
I assume that you've had personal experience with goblins also.
Do you figure?
So, the non-violent approach to goblins.
There is no non-violent approach to goblins, if you ask me, but continue.
From what Jonas said,
So fucking salty.
from what Jonas said, I can assume that if we brought tribute to the goblins, we might be able to barter with them.
Yeah, they like shiny stuff.
And Barbies, and toy cars, and...
They like, what?
Anything cool.
I have a lot of valuable things, but I don't have toys.
So I think, Jonas, you remember specifically KK, the cool kid. He named himself KK because he had cool kid written on his shirt with a K with a picture of a skateboard with a rainbow. And he had like a staff that had like Barbie, like beheaded Barbie dolls hanging from it, and sunglasses and rollerblades. So you know that they're kitschy as hell.
Okay, well, is there like a... You sure you don't... Or is there anything that we could find at like the old house or something that might be like... I don't know, like... Something you can make a staff with like Barbie heads hanging off of it, or Barbie bodies hanging off of it, or maybe like a...
Are we cosplayers now?
Roller skates, or like super fun t-shirts.
Okay,
Cool
I
sunglasses.
may have
Yeah.
something. My parents unfortunately kept a lot of trinkets from
All
my
right,
childhood.
I have brought up a picture of cool kid.
There you go.
Oh my god. He looks like somebody from the Homestuck universe.
I know.
All right.
What?
Oh my
If he was
gosh.
a goblin.
Oh my
There's
God.
now a Billy
Yeah.
Goat Gruff in the room with us.
What?
Oh my god. That's a magic eye dropped, right?
No, it's just object placement, so just a random, non-magical, non-valuable item can be just show up in the scene. So maybe one of the attendants brings it in with the
No.
drinks or something.
So the
Right.
attendants come in with the drinks and the hors d'oeuvres for lunch and sets out a table and puts everything down. And with it, they say, Savoy, I did hear you mention that perhaps your family had kept things on the property, and as your old caretaker, they did. And just puts the Billy Goat Gruff down and walks out. And Savoy's like, oh my god!
So is it like a toy goat?
Yeah,
Oh, this is great.
it's got like big butted eyes. It's like all worn through, like it ran around with the kid for like 4 years. It's got like little hands sewing up patches on it.
Nice.
I love it.
See, I was just gonna have an actual fucking goat wander in the room going, "Mah."
Of course you would.
Did you know that in addition to being very ecologically friendly, livestock, goats are also used in a lot of demonic rituals.
We're
So-
not looking to do demonic rituals.
So
And
we
Savoy-
should
Sorry, go on.
probably. Oh no, that's fine. If Savoy's talking, Tilda's still talking over them because she's high. Should probably be careful of that with the goblins so they don't like summon something inadvertently.
Oh,
So
it's okay.
why-
This one doesn't have blood.
While
Oh,
Savoy
good,
was
good.
trying to talk, Savoy's head snaps to the side like they're listening to something. And they take a deep, sharp breath and just like looks back into the middle of the circle. Like something's talking in the back of their head. That's it.
Okay. Like, quit talking about demonic rituals.
Mira notices and looks at Savoy and raises an eyebrow and is just like, "Do you have anything to share?"
Savoy's brow furls and they just say no.
They brought in a Barbie doll as well with the Billy Goat Gruff.
No, Savoy's true gender is shown.
Hey, everybody can play with Barbie dolls. Screw marketing.
Screw that.
No, I'm suddenly thinking about that baby ceremony in China where they lay out the 3 objects before a baby, and whichever one they crawl to is what like their destiny's gonna be when they're older.
Oh wow.
Should there be a third
I'm suddenly
object that
imagining.
is presented?
Yes.
And what is the third object?
Here. Toy car.
I love that you spent points on that. You're the GM. You can just have it be there. It's amazing.
Savoy is the one explaining this, right? It's
Yeah.
Yasmin's storytelling that's explaining this whole thing. So I've redeemed an object for your attendants to bring in. God damn it.
So the attendants have all like brought in these 3 objects that are now sitting with lunch, and Savoy just looks furious and very uncomfortable.
I'm gonna do another roll just for my own benefit. Okay, yep. So
What?
Tilda
Hold on.
notices Savoy being angry. I'm just rolling for my own benefit to see if Tilda noticed something or not. To leave it up to chance. So I'm gonna say that Tilda notices Savoy being angry, if that is okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. And she's gonna go, you know, that the way your cheeks are getting redder, it really brings out your features. It's very, very attractive.
Hold on.
Hilda's laying it up thicker than Jonas. What the fuck?
So I think that Savoy's a little bit uncomfortable right now, but thank you, Tilda. That was a very good observation.
Did I
Jonas
say
going for his
something?
girl's honor.
Did I ask a personal question again?
So Savoy rolled a 7 to keep their cool.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's a mixed success. So you decide how far it goes.
So all like you can see like Savoy's gotten really uncomfortable and really frustrated with the direction of the conversation. and all that it presents is that a plume of feathers sprout up the side of their cheek, and one eye turns yellow, while the other side of their face remains very stern and very angry. And like you can almost like it's almost like their voices are out of sync with Savoy's mouth as they're like, "Oh, you had a tender spot." And Savoy's
This
like,
looks
"Shut
even better.
up."
Like,
And like Savoy like grabs the bottom of their chair in an effort to keep themselves from moving, and like is like hunched over and looks up and is just like, there's just this mix of emotions where the conversation is, please can we stop talking about myself, but no, please talk more, I can tell you all about Savoy's childhood. I mean, I was an integral part of it.
oh, I
But these
mean,
goblins, did you know goblins love to collect things? And each tribe has
I
a
did know
different thing that they're obsessed with. We could bring them the world and they would give us that information. But I mean, that is only the goblins that are from my world. These could be goblins from another world. Shut up, please, for the sake.
you know, they raise a good point. These could be different tribes of goblins.
Jonas, you do remember that your tribe that you met loved roses. That was their thing.
Okay. Well, the tribe that I met really loved roses. But Savoy, do you want me to? I'm just gonna, and he like grabs the 3 items and just like shoves them in his backpack and is like, look, nobody's looking at them. It's fine.
I was fully under the impression that you were going to say he shoved them in his pants.
This roleplay gets weirder and weirder.
But the other you said to keep going. So like the feathers are really pretty, and like the whole like angle face thing, it's great.
He'll like twitters, like a bird chitters, like they just go, oh, why thank you. And Savoy's like, no, please, I think I need a cigarette. Oh my god. But Savoy can't manage to peel themselves off their seat, and as it goes on, the more Savoy is held still, the more the feathers begin to recede until Savoy is back in control, breathing very heavily and very quietly and with their eyes closed.
So, all right. So you now know that you can talk to the goblins, right? You know a bit about the ogre. Is there anything else you guys want to mention, or are you going to come up with a plan?
Does Vanessa mention anything about the goblins being willing to talk to other fae folk?
Vanessa was thinking about that, actually. Mira's not so inclined to say so, but
Okay.
Vanessa was thinking about it.
I mean, that was my question.
Well, I mean, it's a good question. Like, one of you guys can probably ask it to the party. Like, how do we get the goblins to talk to us, right?
Okay, so we have these items that we're willing to trade. So now what? How do we get the goblins to come and talk to us? How do we find them? Does anybody here know?
Mira sighs and like she's just like, I know where to find them. I can bring us there. I'm not guaranteed that, you know, I can make them talk to us, but I can find them.
Great. So when should we go?
sooner we do this, the better it's going to be for us in the long run.
I think I'm gonna need a nap and another coffee first.
Tilda, I don't think that you're in any shape to be going on field missions.
I'll be fine. I'm just sleepy.
Okay.
can
I
video
feel
chat you.
great right now.
Here, look, I'll video chat you and you can be with us the whole time, resting in your bed.
Okay.
But we should let Tilda sleep.
I'm sure I'll be fine after a nap. After this stuff wears off.
So
I was muted. So, Savoy, about that point, you get a phone call.
Savoy answers.
They're like, "Hey, this is Philip with animal control.
Yes.
Looking into the alligator problem."
Why does Philip sound pubescent? How old is Philip? Old enough to be? Is Philip Phineas and Ferb? Like, are you old enough to be doing this job, sir?
I'm just
18, right?
I'm just imagining the if you've seen BoJack Horseman, what's her name's boyfriend that's really just like the two kids in a trench coat. I can't remember his name.
Auditioning, give him a break.
Philip, what is it? What is it that you need to know about the alligator we have here?
It's not the alligator, ma'am. It's our car. You know, the animal mobile, as we like to call it. It
Oh my god.
it's crushed. It's been crushed from the top. It's smashed. We were looking for the alligator. We came back, and it's smashed.
They done
There's no cave car. There's no cave in.
Where in the swamp are you?
Oh, we're at the docks, ma'am. The
All right,
docks near Maine.
let me make a
About
few
where
calls.
that
I'm sorry to-
doctor person.
I'm sorry to hear about your car. I will have somebody from the motel come and pick you up, and you will stay at the motel, and we will figure out a resolution for your car. At this time, there's not a lot I can do about it, and I'm very sorry to hear that.
I understand. Just know
Suddenly
that
Philip is turning
it's
into an
just
old
weird
woman.
because there wasn't like.
Tilda just kind of leans over to Jonas and goes, I think somebody got in a car accident.
It's like, I understand. It's just very strange, you know,
Yeah, I
because it's
understand.
like
You know
not
what?
not a
Hey,
not a tree.
Stop talking. I will have somebody come and pick you up from the docks. Please stay there and don't go anywhere else. Thank
I'll
you.
let my partner know.
Bye.
Oh, thanks.
Hangs up on them.
So
Gets
rude.
up and walks out as they're calling the motel manager. Hello?
Yeah, so
I think she's mad now.
regardless, the motel agrees to go and pick them up. They get the cab. You know, they're used to guest services and things like that. They have things like tow trucks and cabs nearby.
They go and help the people out.
Yeah, but regardless, you definitely get that feeling like, yeah, this probably can't wait much longer.
Yeah, it's
Because-
getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm. You smashed the animal mobile.
Savoy really wants like an hour to just go and work out and blow some of this steam off in a really healthy way, but they're not going to get that. So they walk back into their room and
Jonas can help you blow off some steam.
dang it!
I mean,
This is not that kind of stream, you guys. Stop.
I mean, Tilda's clearly got some underlying feelings as well that she had previously not considered.
So Savoy walks back into the room. Guys, and I'm the one that's been drinking. Come on. Savoy walks back in and is like, all right, guys, the situation with the Ogre troll thing is getting out of control. We have to start working on this now. Tilda, please feel free to take a nap. I'm going to leave a cellular device that will allow you to communicate with us even when service is sparse. That will ring very loudly when we need you.
Okay.
But I really need you to get some rest, so I don't think this is the last of what's going on. Everybody else, I need you to come downstairs with me. We're going to make sure everybody is equipped in at least ballistic tactical gear and with a handful of weapons that we can defend ourselves with, because I don't know what we are getting into.
Fabulous.
Okay.
So with that, I think we're going to end there.
Oh.
I mean, we've been going for 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah. 2.5 hours.
So
2 hours 15 minutes. We started a little late, but yeah, close enough.
well, because next it's just a perfect cutaway point.
It's a
before you
fantastic
guys
spot
talk
to
about
end.
them. So next time, let's see, next week we'll not have an episode, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, because we'll be leaving.
Yes, we will. Me and Raven will be at Life Universe and Everything Symposium for science fiction and fantasy writers and artists.
Mhm.
But after that, we will pick up with might be the penultimate or ultimate of this arc, not the whole game. Basically, like I explained,
Of this particular monster.
of this hunt, yes.
Okay, I was gonna say the season doesn't end until end of April.
No.
We're
Ready to
monster
cry,
hunting,
blowing off steam.
guys.
So yeah, we're gonna start monster hunting, and so just briefly, like for the audience to know, I explained this a little bit to the players, but basically it's an arc. An arc is when they discover the monster, when they fight the monster. That's the end of the arc, and it goes in chapters depending upon the monsters they face, and of course there's an overlying mystery. So with that being said, we are done for tonight. Next time we'll find the goblins.
So blowing off steam is a good raid cry. Could also do the Savoy flirted with counter number 4. Just as a suggestion.
That's a great one. Actually.
And then
Can we do that one?
Silence. I'm good with that, if everybody else is good with that.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Okay. Let's do some outros here. We're gonna go on a raid in a second, but let's do some outros, starting with Rowan. What was your favorite part of tonight's session? Where can we find you next? What are you working on? All that good jazz.
Man alive, I think my favorite part had to be when Mira was just on Zahil's lap in the empty part of the diner, just sitting there, and she wouldn't fucking move. Or just the part where she just walks, like, here's Jonas and Sahil arguing, and freaking she just walks back into the library, ends up back in the diner. Amazing.
Mira's just of her
so-
life.
That was pretty
Yeah, it was amazing. So where you can find me, I have all my social media and stuff on the contact me section of my website at ruinnorthillustrations.org. Underneath you can see my Twitter handle. I'm trying to do more on Twitter, so check me out there. Like I said, my biggest thing right now is I'm going to be doing Life, the Universe, and Everything next week, where I have 11 different panels, and I'm going to be in the art show as well as in the artist alley and all that. So that's fun, and I look forward to that. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Vanessa, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you online and all that good jazz? And yeah.
While I did very much enjoy Mira's stubbornness in moving, I think my favorite part, just in general, was how comfortable everybody's getting, kind of interacting with each other, and really trying to push how far we can go with each other in terms of character interaction. I just love that sense of being comfortable and just trying to work through funny situations with each other, because it's just a blessing every time. I love it. I really do enjoy it.
That's great.
Yeah, as for where you can find me, I'm trying to post more on my art Twitter, so you can find me there at Peppero Draws, Peppero like the candy. And then, of course, you can find me here when we pick up with this again.
Awesome. Yasmin, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And what are you working on? All that good stuff.
This session was really fun because I got to flip back and forth. I think my favorite part is drugged up Tilda. And it's ridiculous. You can find me on Twitter at ytatianaart.com, or not .com. On Twitter as ytatianaart. And I'm currently working on setting up art classes. So that'll be announced on my Twitter, and then I will be at the Wild West convention in Arizona at the very beginning of March.
Awesome. Riley, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you online next? All that good stuff.
My favorite part was when Mira decided that she wanted to play with Jonas, and as he'll tell Jonas that they were on the moon. I loved that part. And I agree with Vanessa, like I really like it's just been a lot of fun, like how everybody's interacting with each other and things like that. I've enjoyed that a lot. You can find me next this Saturday here on Raven's Twitch channel for Badlands, as well as I am uploading a YouTube video every Saturday for my knitting business. It'll either be a tutorial or like a podcast type thing. So it's a fun thing I'm playing with, you know.
Awesome. Definitely throw a link in chat to that.
Yeah, I will.
Cool.
And that's it.
All right. My favorite part, being able to play Tilda high is really, really fun. That was very different than how Tilda normally is, so that was a lot of fun. But also, yeah, everybody's interactions with each other. This cast has all been gaming together for a while now. And it is fun to see, like, just how we all sort of riff off of each other. It's awesome. With stuff like that. As for where you can find me next, I will be here, what is today, Wednesday? I will be here Friday, DMing Trans is Magic. It's a one-shot that we're doing based with a magical school that is fighting the evil moldy port who's trying to put everybody into two distinct categories of mages when there's lots of categories. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, Badlands on Saturday. I will also be at LTUE. I will be on, I think, 7 different panels. My composite art might be in the art show. I'm still waiting to hear back on that. But I will be there doing some panels as a panelist and a couple as a moderator. And that'll be a lot of fun. So, yeah, that does mean that next week, Wednesday through Saturday, there will not be any new episodes of stuff. I might run some reruns while I am out of town. But we won't have any live streams from Wednesday through Saturday next week. Also, Friday, I'm going to be on Encounter Roleplay for Session 0 of the new Star Trek Adventure show that they're doing over there. That is at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, if I remember correctly. So that will also be pretty exciting. But yeah, we're going to go on a raid. As Gwen pointed out, our amazing friend Vera is DMing on a channel, so we're going to go over there and say hi. Vera is absolutely amazing. They were on the channel last season playing Minerva in Badlands. Absolutely wonderful person, so definitely go say hi. We've got our raid cry of Final Subway flirted with counter 4. And yeah, I will see you all Friday. Bye.